This is a Swift Challenger Sport 5/8 van. I'll show you how it operates. In front of the van we have the jockey wheel, hitch, handbrake and main power lead to the car. This is all stuff we'll go through in person here on site. Front of the Caravan, you've got your gas bottle with gas valve on top for opening and shutting the gas flow from the bottle to the Caravan. You've then got your reverse thread fitting going into the bottle and your gas regulator attached to the bulkhead at the top. You've also got your leg winder in the front locker as well. Coming down this side of the van, you've got your water pump connection. So the water pump will connect to the side of the van. You pull the blue trigger back and push the pump into the side of the van. Then the pickup end drops down inside the aqua roll itself. The white cover that you see on here would normally be over here, and this is a gas flue cover. So when you're not using the van, it doesn't get any damp in the side of the unit for the gas system and the heating system. You've got your wind down leg then on each corner at the front, and the two on the rear, as you'd expect to see on a Caravan. You've also then got your 12-volt battery box, or 12-volt battery, in the locker on the side of the van, and your mains power lead coming into the van. So we've got everything connected to power at the moment, and water, and also gas, so you can see everything working as it should. The motor mover red power switch in there, you'll see I come back to at the end of the video. Two fridge vents on the side of the van. One of these will allow the gas system to vent from the back of the fridge also, but they're to let heat out from the back of the fridge unit and to take some cool air in. The motor mover, like I said, I'll come back to later on. The wheel nuts will be torqued to 120 Newton meters before you leave site with the Caravan today. And we do advise that before you travel on each trip that you do check these as well. Coming to the back of the van, you've got your toilet flush tank. Now the toilet flush tank here at the top takes 3.5 litres of water and a cap full of the pink fluid. And then at the bottom here, you've got your toilet waste cassette, which you release by pulling up the orange handle and pulling towards you. The neck here turns out so you can tip the waste away out of the toilet cassette. The cap here is also a measure for the blue fluid, and you put 1 cap full of the blue fluid in there, and you'd also put 1 litre of water in prior to use. The orange button on the back of the toilet cassette is a pressure relief, so when you're tipping the waste away, it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. On the back of the van, you'll see down here, you've got your grey waste water pipes, so you put your 2 grey pipes into there and drop them down into your waste master itself. On the back of the van, you've also got your 2 wind down legs. Coming up the door side of the Caravan, you've got your storage locker for underneath the bed at the rear of the van. A 3-pin power socket so you can have power coming out to your awning, and again you've got your wheel and motor mover and your other wind down leg at the front of the van. If we go inside the Caravan now and demonstrate how the inside of the van works, you'll hear that I've got the radio on, and we'll turn that off in a second. Just turned it on so you could hear it was working as it should be. Not that the music playing is very good at all, so we'll turn that off so you can hear what I'm talking about. There we go, so that's now turned off. First thing you can do when you come inside the Caravan, when you've got mains and water connected on the outside, is turn on the power switch above the door. So power is now on, and it's indicating here that I've got power coming from the power post outside into the Caravan. If you're connected to the car, because you're going to use 12 volt from the car to use your fridge as a cool box or charge the battery on board the van, you'd have an orange light appear on the car and a green light on the Caravan. Left hand side of the control panel, you've got your leisure battery voltage. And on the right hand side of the control panel, you have the vehicle battery, so essentially the 12 volt supply that is coming from the car to the Caravan. To fill the water system on this particular van, or the same as you do with all Caravans, you're first of all going to come over to the taps, open them all up on the hot side. You will actually notice that I've already got the water system full, but you'd open all the taps up on the hot water side. That includes the sink in the bathroom and the shower as well. Once you have all of those open and you've got your aqua roll connected on the outside, you'll need to make sure that underneath the seat on the far right hand side of the Caravan at the front, that you have made sure the yellow drain down valve, which is just there in the video, to the left hand side of the screen, is parallel with the floor. If that valve is parallel with the floor, you'll be able to start filling the water system on board the Caravan. If that valve was pointing upright towards the bottom of the seat, it would actually drain all the water you're bringing onto the Caravan straight back on the floor underneath the van. So once that yellow valve's shut and the taps are all open, you can come to the control panel above the door and you can turn on the water pump. As you can see, the water pump's now on. And as I'd already shown you, I've actually filled the water system up. But when the water system is full, you should have water running out of each tap, like so. And once you have water running out of each tap like that, you can shut all of the taps down and start thinking about warming the water on board the Caravan. So at the front of the van, where the front table is, you've actually got a switch here which controls the gas operation of the water heater. So I can set the gas water heater to 50 degrees of water temperature. You'll have a green pilot light on one of these sides here. I can't remember which side it is on this particular van. And then on the opposite side you'll have a red fail light. So if it failed to ignite, the red light would appear on one side, and if it ignited, the green light would appear. You can do the same with the 70 degree water option on the bottom here. So you just flick the switch the opposite way and that would warm the water system up to 70 degrees. If you wanted to use the water heater on electric, you're first of all going to need to come in this cupboard again, where the drain down valve is. You're going to need to make sure that the water heater switch is turned on just here, and also the space heater switch. You can actually leave these both on, because down to the left hand side of this cabinet you've actually got a control switch for controlling the heat of the water with the electric water heater. So on the top here you've got 30 degrees of water temperature, and then at the bottom you've got 50 degrees of water temperature. If you're on a site where you've got mains power but you wanted to shower on board the van, I would advise that you ignite the water system on gas, because it will warm a lot quicker on the gas than it will the water side of the water heater, the electric water side of the heater. The electric heater, yeah. The electric water heater side. So that's your heating and hot water heating demonstrated there. I'm just going to turn it all back off for now. To warm the Caravan, very simple to do. If you want to use gas to use the heating on the van, you'll spin this dial around on the left hand side, sorry, and make sure the gas is on. Then down in this window down here, when it has ignited, you'll see a pilot light. And once it has ignited, you can slowly release the gas valve after 5 to 10 seconds have been lit, and then the heater will start warming up on gas. To control the temperature, once it has ignited, you'll use the dial on top of the heater between 1 and 10 to control it. If you go back to 0, it'll actually turn the water heater off completely. Now, depending on what Caravan site you're on, you'll have electric potentially available, and you'll either have 500, 1000 or 2000 watts of power coming into the Caravan. You won't actually know what power you've got coming into the Caravan until you've asked the Caravan site you are visiting. But for instance, if you had 500 watts available, you'd spin the grey outer dial round to 500 watts just down the side here, and then you control the heat of the temperature of the heater on the black dial in the centre between 1 and 9. The higher you go with the switch to 9, obviously, is the hotter the heater will be. The lower you have it, the cooler the heater will be. If you want to use blown air heating, you'll actually have your fan speed control switch on the top here. The dot here will allow the heat to come out the front of the heater. However, if you want to turn on the blown air continuously, you'll put this switch over to the left hand side here, which will allow the heat for the van to come out the vents around the Caravan, which are dotted around in different places. There's one in the front of the van, one in the bathroom, and then there should be some around the bottom of the bed unit as well. If you want to use automatic blown air, so it cuts in and out with the thermostat, you can put it onto the A on the right hand side, and that will then allow the thermostat to control when the blown air heating comes on. The fridge, very simple to operate. You'll press the power button on the left hand side and the fridge will come on. As you can see at the moment, we're connected to 240 mains, and we'll control the temperature of the fridge on the button on the right hand side. To change the power source, I'll press the button on the right hand side, and now it's flashing 12 volts with an error code 6. The reason for that is it's trying to run the fridge as a cool box from the car that you're towing with. However, at the moment we're not connected to a car. Gas, the fridge will self-ignite on gas, and this is essentially your pilot light just here. If it ever failed to ignite on gas, it would do the same as what it's just done with the 12 volt battery. It'll actually start flashing to let me know it has failed to ignite. turn the fridge back off, you'll press and hold the power button and it will turn the fridge unit off completely. To operate, I'm just going to show you a demonstration now of the cooker working as we've got the gas turned on. I'm just going to show you everything ignited up. The electric ring at the back is a little bit harder to demonstrate, obviously, because I can't actually show you a physical heat coming off that. But as you can see, the gas rings have ignited as they should. I'm going to show you the grill next, just so you can see the grill's igniting. So there's your grill ignited and working away. And then we'll just demonstrate the oven as well. So as you can see, the oven is working as well. The last thing we're going to go through on the inside of the Caravan before I go back to the outside and demonstrate the motor mover is going to be the toilet system. It's an electric flush on this particular van, so you press the button on top to flush the toilet. And then down the bottom of the toilet you actually have a handle here which you can push across to the right, or when you're looking at the front of the toilet it'll be to the right, to allow the toilet waste into the cassette underneath the Caravan. So that's all for the inside of the van. I'll be back with you in a moment to demonstrate the motor mover. So to engage the motor mover against the wheel, you're going to need to get your motor mover engagement bar from inside the van, which looks like this. You'll notice there's a slot in the end of the bar itself with a cut-out section or a flat section there that will essentially go onto the side of the motor mover on the slotted section. You'll push the motor mover over and lock it into place. Once the motor mover is locked in place, you can get the controller for the system and go around to the other side of the van. Disengage the handbrake as you go past. So the handbrake's off. Then in the side locker, you'll notice there's a power switch just there. You'll put the motor mover key in place. You'll turn the key 90 degrees and it will turn the power onto the mover itself. At that point, you can press the two green buttons on the controller, which will turn the controller on, and you'll have forward, you'll have backwards, you'll have your turn, turn back the opposite way, and turn to the rear, and the same again on the opposite side. To spin the Caravan on the spot, press the two turn buttons opposite each other, and the Caravan will turn through 360 degrees. That would be the same on either diagonal buttons going across the controller. To turn the controller back off, you'll press the two green buttons just here, and that will turn the controller off. You can then turn the power off in the side locker. We recommend you do that so it doesn't drain the battery down on board the van. You can pull the handbrake back on, and then come around to this side of the van again where we've got the motor mover bar, and you can then disengage the mover like so. Remove the bar and most people pop them inside the van along with the controller. Thank you very much for watching. If you've got any questions, please do give us a call here at the Caravan Company.